Hello everyone, and welcome to Movie Review 30. This one being a yearly roundabout. It was originally going to be 2020, but because COVID hit, it then extended to 2020 to 2021. And that's going to be what we're looking into today.
Yep, and for Movie Review 30, this is called
The Top 18 Movies of 2020 to 2021.
And before we start, let's give out some honorable mentions of films that...
We'll just start with the one that Dean saw, but I didn't.
With Raya and the Last Dragon. So, Raya was a pretty good Disney film that's inspired by Asian cultures.
I never saw it, so I can't have an opinion on it.
But I will say the dragon character in it, Caesar, was freaking hilarious.
Alright.
So, okay, moving on to ones that we did see. Space Jam: A New Legacy.
It was pretty fun.
But not as good as the first, right?
And not as good as the first. I mean, I felt like it was being way too much to be the original, but nonetheless, it was a pretty fun thrill ride.
King Kong's ain't got nothing on me.
Yeah, and Kong's just there. It's like...
And speaking of Kong, which we'll get to later, and Birds of Prey.
It was a pretty good movie.
And Harley Quinn stealing the whole show.
Oh, yeah.
And speaking of Harley, which later. Okay, now let's get... And well, once again, this is the top 18 movies of 2020
to 2021. And number 18 is New Mutants. This was the last entry of the X-Men cinematic universe, and while it's not the worst, it's not the best either. I mean, the franchise didn't end crashing or have a graceful landing. It was more of it barely made a landing, just barely without.
Yeah, that's what you said.
Crashing into it.
It's funny because you said that in when we reviewed it.
Yeah, I mean...
again, it's not the worst. I mean, if it was worse, it would have been like Fantastic 2.
Yeah, pretty much. But thankfully, at least the X-Men cinematic universe ends in some form of dignity.
And again, it's like you said, they could have ended it with Logan, but...
Yeah, they could just... Preferably, they should just end it with Logan.
So... Moving on, number 17 is Eternals.
This was pretty alright, although I think this is mostly for the nerdy comic book reader of Marvel rather than the average viewer. And but then again, that wouldn't be fair given that everyone loves Shang-Chi and not a lot of people know who he is, but please feel free to correct me if I'm wrong there.
So, I mean, this is pretty much based on something we're not so familiar with.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, and we still think it was good, but it didn't really live up to what we thought we were gonna get.
Pretty much.
And it's like you said, the film was a bit too long.
Yeah, the film was a bit too long, even for us.
And even though it's a little hard to remember what happened in the movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad, but it's not. It's basically Godzilla versus Space Godzilla. It's a good movie, but it's not without its flaws.
Well, the only thing we do remember is the ending, which we can't spoil.
Yeah, so there's that. And anyway, on to the next one.
16, Wonder Woman 84, or 1984.
This wasn't well received. I mean, granted, it's not the first Wonder Woman. I mean, I personally thought the first Wonder Woman was one of the best superhero movies ever made. This is alright, but nothing to write home about. I mean, there was a pretty cool cameo at the end, so there's that.
Yes, and I actually kind of like Cheetah in this. I mean, her character was sort of like with Selena Kyle, a.k.a. Catwoman in Batman Returns.
There's that, and also, I remember this fondly because it was the start of a new year, and since it was the end of the dreaded shit show that was 2020.
Oh, let's not get into that, please.
Yeah, I mean, it was a new way to start new, and honestly, I mean, it's not the best, but I can personally look back at it fondly for personal reasons.
But we can still watch the first movie anytime we want.
Oh yeah, the first movie is still the best, but 1984, I mean, it's a little something I can just look back fondly as a means to say, hey, time to start anew.
Yes, and okay, moving on, number Number 15, Black Widow.
Black Widow's alright.
Well, I thought you liked the movie.
Oh, I like the movie, I mean... And no, it's not because the protagonist is a woman, it's just... There's not a lot to write home about, I mean, there was a Red Guardian,
Oh yeah, I actually really like the Red Guardian.
Oh yeah, he was funny.
Wait, you can't remember what happened?
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what happened, I mean...
And
I think there was a climax when, with Taskmaster and all these, women who were used as super soldiers,
and
it was leading up to a show.
Hawkeye, which I would say Hawkeye is really damn good.
I didn't see it yet, so...
Well, I'm not. Don't worry, I'm not gonna say anything.
I trust you.
And it's only set in December, so we only have to.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's Black Widow, I guess. So we have to say so far.
Yeah, and number 14, Scoob.
Hey, wait, I was gonna say Scoob.
This is basically supposed to be the start of a cinematic universe, but I don't know how that went. But that being said, the movie's pretty good. Interesting character development, good story, good acting,
and Rick,
and some pretty witty humor. So
no, it's Dick.
So yeah, some pretty witty humor from this movie. So I can respect that.
Yeah, and it's a good thing that Frank Welker voiced Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, that's true.
So, okay, moving on. Number 13, Mortal Kombat.
This was pretty fun. I mean,
it was actually respectful to the game lore.
Yeah. Yeah, although I wish it could have been a bit more, but it's still pretty fun to watch.
But I would say that Kano was like...
Yeah, I loved Kano for him being such a complete prick.
Yeah, I would want to make a character who's pretty much based off of him, who's, unfortunately, is a werewolf.
Yeah. I pay to see that.
And I actually did like the climax between Scorpion and Sub-Zero.
Oh, yeah.
And it's also the most goriest film.
Yeah. Anyway, on to the next one.
Number 12, Soul.
Soul is an endearing movie, and one of Jamie Foxx's personal best, and he's one of my favorite actors aside from Spider-Man 2.
You mean Amazing Spider-Man 2?
Yeah, Amazing Spider-Man.
But again, we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get that in another life. Anyway.
So, yeah. And also Tina Fey was really good as what was it, 23 or 24? I'm sorry, correct us
in the comments down below.
So and it also has great animation for a Pixar film.
Yeah.
And it has great jazz music.
Oh yeah, good film all around.
Okay, moving on. Number 11, Venom. Let There Be Carnage.
Oh, now this is where the countdown starts to get good.
Yeah. As you were saying,
the characters are fun, especially the duo chemistry between Eddie Brock and Venom. Trust me, their shit is fucking hilarious.
Yeah, especially when they're having a fight,
or especially at the final battle. Yeah, he's like,
oh shit.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they go back into the MCU that they're comic relief, that they're anti-heroes but also comic relief.
So again, you would prefer this Venom over the one we had in Spider-Man 3.
Totally.
And also, Carnage himself
yeah, Carnage was a fucking monster, and I love it. I am all for it.
Yeah, and one thing notice that Carnage is like taller than Venom.
Hey,
well, in the comics, it's in reverse.
Not mine, hey.
But
tall villains make imposing villains.
Just like King Ghidorah against Godzilla.
Pretty much.
Okay, okay. Number 10, The
Mitchells versus the Machines. Now this was a pretty clever. Now this I did not expect to be this good.
Well,
a lot of people talked about it. Dean's friend talked about it. Straw Hat Goofy talked about it. A lot of people gave high praise for this film, and it is well deserved.
And one thing, you did give the movie a B.
I think it was a B, but I couldn't remember what it was for. nonetheless, it is still well deserved in the top 10, in the 10 tier.
And also Danny McBride was pretty good at it.
Oh yeah, Danny McBride plays the dad. He is good at it.
And I also like the teenage girl. Oh my god, what's her name?
Actually, I think she's going to college, so it might be in her late teens. But she was also Tia Beanie in Disenchanted.
Well, that's interesting.
Hey, you told me that.
Oh. Okay. So yeah, that's Mitchell Swinton. Anyone who hasn't seen the movie,
Go watch it. It's on Netflix.
and again, it was supposed to come out in theaters, but again, due
to COVID, and it was supposed to have a sillier name, like Connected or something.
yeah, so I
But
guess,
then it was changed to Mitchell vs. the Machines,
which I think is a better title.
And like Star Wars, compared to some Roger Zolanzi science fiction movie adaptation, this actually happened, by the way. It was supposed to blow Star Wars out of the water, but the polar opposite happened. Or like the DS and the PSP.
Okay.
The PSP was going to win, but the DS just went through. So, anyway, enough of my rambling. Moving on.
Okay, number 9, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, and oh boy, this is like probably the best martial arts / superhero film. Like,
oh yeah, this movie was also a fun throw ride.
so, but I asked Jordan, and oh by the way, Jordan did not like Eternals, and he told me that Shang-Chi is better than Eternals.
That's his opinion, and honestly, I feel the same way too. It is better than the Eternals.
And because it has great action, and the main character himself is likable, so is his friend, and oh boy, the Mandarin.
Oh yeah. Oh, and the best part is, it's not a love interest, it's more of a friend. It's a friend thing, and I kind of respect that for him. I love that they don't go through like the same tropes, and not to mention the fight choreography is just fucking fun.
Yeah, and because it's pretty much because it doesn't really feel like a sci-fi movie. It's more of a
it's more of a fantasy action flick, and I am all for that.
and it has really creative creatures.
Oh yeah.
But again, we're not experts on Chinese mythology, but that's
Or Asian or whatever Eastern mythology. So, our apologies. Anyway, on to the next one.
Yep. Anyway, number 8, The
Suicide Squad. Holy hell! This surpasses the original. Every character. Sylvester Stallone, John Cena. There's Idris Elba, Polka Dot Man. And jokes are funnier. James Gunn. DC was smart to pick James Gunn as a director. He owned that part perfectly.
And I still love the part when Polka Dot Man felt bad for what happened to that one guy, and the other,
and he always visualizes everything as his mom just to show how fucked in the head he is.
Like, that thing is your mother.
You know what that is? It's our mom.
Yeah, and I love Idris Elba as Bloodsport.
Oh yeah, he nailed that role down perfectly.
I mean,
like even the energy when he commands King Shark to attack and telling Pokemon Man, you know who that is?
Yeah.
It's your mom.
You don't have to say it twice.
I'm sorry, but that's just a funny joke.
And because again, just like with Shang-Chi, James Gunn took characters that we were unfamiliar with and made them work perfectly.
Yeah.
But we only know who Harley Quinn is, and again, Harley Quinn was phenomenal in this as well.
Oh yeah.
And she looked really beautiful in that red dress.
Oh, she's great in everything. It's Margot Robbie for you. Anyway,
okay.
On to the next one.
Number 7, Freaky.
Vince Vaughn does this role perfectly, playing not only a serial killer but also a teenage girl, and just does it in a way. I think both the lead actress and Vince Vaughn just play off each other very well. Playing like the whole body swap thing, and they do it well. And not to mention, it's actually funny.
Yeah. And also it's the best horror comedy we've seen so far. And again, it's directed by the same guy that gave us Happy Death Day. So, Happy Death Day was PG-13.
But surprisingly funny. Like, there's even other... Like, there's a sequel that does so well. I think my brother's friend basically has a YouTube channel, has a video talking about those, and it does it in a proper detail, so I might put that in the description down below.
And also, it's like you said, the film ended just like with RoboCop.
Oh yeah, there's No resolution, no happy ending, just guy dies. And I love that shit.
Yeah. So yeah, that's freaky. And if you're a horror movie fan, give this a watch.
Yeah. And the next one, another Pixar flick, Onward.
It's starring Tom Holland and Chris Pratt.
Yeah, it's a pretty endearing movie about brotherhood. That's really all I can say. I mean, it says it has a Pixar touch. Feel free to give this a watch.
Yeah. Well, that's the shortest thing we had to say about it. And also, Chris Pratt as Mario? Why?
Yeah, Charles Martinet. But
we wanted you as some big name actors playing Mario.
Charles Martinet. The original voice of Mario. You didn't do the same thing with Optimus Prime, so why not Mario?
But you're fine with Chris Evans as Buzz Lightyear?
Yeah, that works for me. Anyway.
Okay, number 5 is
Sonic the Hedgehog.
And boy, this was a surprise for both of us.
Yeah, the movie was damn good. The humor, the humor, the charm, the writing, and it even brings in the Santa meme, which made me burst out laughing. I mean, let me tell you.
The Santa meme.
Yeah, let me tell you. This was a well-done movie, and I think the fact that the director listened to criticism saved this film from failing.
So good riddance to that original disgusting design.
Yeah, we don't talk about that. So, if the director's watching this, kudos to you, man.
And believe it or not, when we reviewed the Sonic fan film, I meant the actual movie. That was our very first movie review 30, believe it or not.
Yeah, well, gotta start somewhere.
And also we cannot wait for the sequel with Idris Elba as Knuckles. First he was Bloodsport, and now Knuckles.
Yeah, so
So we definitely are going to be doing a movie on the sequel, but we'll just wait when it comes out in April.
Yep. So expect that soon. And
one more thing. Jim Carrey was great as Dr. Eggman.
Oh, definitely. Oh, and on to a good one.
Okay, number 4.
Godzilla vs. Kong. Oh, hell yes. This is a movie where everybody came together so they could be kids again. This movie throws every serious, gritty, realistic thing out the window, says, fuck this shit, we're going Dragon Ball on this bitch. And that is exactly what they did. Oh my god.
And boy, the fight between Godzilla and Kong in the ocean and city.
Oh yeah, Godzilla's fucking relentless in this film.
Because you compared him to Guts from Berserk.
Oh yeah. Godzilla's fucking merciless. He does not give a fuck.
Well, Kong, he's more like
he's more human, but Godzilla's just like, fuck you, bitch, you dead!
and also...
You can make memes out of this.
And also, Jack just recently reviewed it with James Rolfe.
Yeah, I'll also put that in the description down below.
If you want a little more details.
Yeah, some big names come in there. Well, I won't reveal who it is.
And also, you could check our movie 30 on Godzilla vs. Kong for more details if you want.
Oh, yeah.
And again, the climax for that.
Oh.
Yeah, everyone was going bonkers. And also, a big shout out to our friend John McKenna. Boy, lighten up.
Woo!
And probably my favorite kaiju movie.
Yeah, everybody on TikTok, when this came out, people were going nuts and were deciding what teams were they going to be on. Team Godzilla or Team Kong. I was Team Godzilla. Some people were Team Kong. Some people chose the right choice. And that is the big G.
Well, Jack is pretty much Team Kong, and I can't choose. I'm more in the middle.
Double agent.
Oh, okay. Anyway, number 3, Zack Snyder's Justice League, or the Snyder Cut, or however you want to call it.
This also took me by surprise. I did not expect this to be good. In fact, I was kind of dreading it. I thought it was just going to be like a dreadful, broody type of movie, but no. This built the world that Zack Snyder was building for a while, and they made Steppenwolf much more opposing and much more of a threat.
And we actually got Darkseid in this.
Oh yeah, and not to mention, everything made sense. And
it's like you said, it's much more fleshed out.
yeah, whereas Steppenwolf in the Whedon cut was basically some weird fucko with mommy issues, Steppenwolf in the Snyder cut was a Shakespearean villain. He was tragic, yet he was villainous yet complex. And not to mention, he looked fucking imposing.
Yeah, and heck, when he was stealing one of the mother boxes from the Amazon, he just chopped him to bits.
Yeah, and also he yeeted a fucking Atlantean into a fucking rock.
And
this guy did not fuck around.
And also, let's talk about like a bit of the Justice League of the dynamics.
They actually have more time to develop.
And it's a good this is the right way to do a long movie. Looking at you, Eternals.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because we could actually remember moments that happened in the film, like the climax, the
climax, the time Barry Allen saved Iris West,
the tragic backstory about Cyborg.
Yeah, there's much more detail. Not to mention, even Cyborg's father died. It was all around. It was good. It was a good film.
And it's great to see like with Wonder Woman's shining moments.
Yeah, and not to mention, you can see Snyder poured his heart into this film.
Yeah, because I believe he's a massive nerd.
Yeah, he's a nerd, but also this was around the time he was originally supposed to make it, but around the time a family tragedy happened and his daughter took her own life, and he dedicated this in honor of her, and I'm sure he's proud of the end product.
Yeah, I'm proud for what he gave us.
Yeah, this was so good. I had to get this. I had to get my hands on this movie any way I can, and thankfully I got it on Blu-ray.
Wait, you have the movie on Blu-ray?
Yes.
Well, so do I. And are you going to show this to your family yet?
I plan to sometime soon. Anyway,
so anyway, that's with the Snyder Cut. If you haven't seen it yet, or you have HBO Max,
go watch it.
Yeah, and it's probably one of our favorite superhero movies of last year.
And now number 2, Dune. Oh my god, I fell in love with this movie. I remember Straw Hat Goofy talking about it, and I knew I had to take a look at it, so I asked him to come see it with me, and he said yes. This movie blew me out of the water. The world was just breathtaking to look at. The acting is great, and not to mention the villains were fucking imposing. Especially Dave Bautista as Robin Harkonnen.
Well, I know him best as Drax. And
yeah, this ain't Drax. This is a scary motherfucker who will kill you at the first sight.
And it's like you said, we'll never think of Drax this.
Yeah, you'll never look at Drax the same way again.
And also about the main characters, well, they have these like
Lady Jessica.
Oh yeah, Lady Jessica. They have these like powers, like they.
Yeah, I think it's called the Voice.
Oh yeah, is this like with Kilgrave and Jessica Jones?
Somewhat, but it's more godlike.
Yeah, and when Lady Jessica, right?
Yeah.
When she makes that voice of that one guy, it's like, wow! It's like she actually wants to kill those guys that's trying to kill her and her son.
Her son has a name, Paul Atreides.
Paul Atreides, sorry.
That's all right. All right. So yeah, this is actually worth checking out, and we're definitely going to see this. See the sequel in 2023.
Yep, and expect that too. And now,
on to the number 1 pick. Say it with me. Spider-Man No Way Home. Oh my god. Where do we begin with this? This film has everything. Cameos up the wazoo to drive an audience mad. And you know what the best part is? This film is so good that it's still sold out to this day.
Yeah, I went to see it twice with my parents, and boy, it was crowded. Again.
Oh yeah. I even tried seeing it with my father, but we weren't able to.
Why?
Because they were sold out.
Damn.
Yeah, it is that good.
Yeah, boy, everyone is seeing it, and it's already doing great at the box office.
Yeah, it is doing numbers.
And
I mean numbers.
And again, let's get back with Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, and Jamie Foxx actually gave it his all. Unlike in Amazing Spider-Man 2, where it just made me cringe and feel uncomfortable. This, on the other hand, I am all over that shit.
But the one villain we should fear the most is the Green Goblin.
Yeah, William Dafoe gives it his all. You can tell he is dedicated to this craft.
I mean, he was so dedicated when he played the Green Goblin in the original Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah. And then there's Alfred Molina as Dr. Octopus. Can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's still one of my favorite villains.
And the two Spoodermen are there, and we all love it.
Yeah,
and the best part is they're developed as characters.
Yeah, all five of them have a purpose.
Yeah,
and
all three Spoodermen do. Oh, come on, they know.
Well, careful! Did you just spoil something?
I'm pretty sure people know.
And again, we feel for what MCU Spider-Man is going through with all this pain.
With all the pain, with everything that's going on, and it ends on a good note, and it gives us foreshadowing into what's going to happen next into the MCM, the Marvel Cinematic Multiverse.
I'm not sure we're ever going to see the X-Men in the whole But,
well, only one way to find out.
Until we wait for the Doctor Strange sequel.
So, yeah, that's about it.
And also I want to say, Spider-Man No Way Home just became my new #1 favorite movie.
I will not blame you for that.
And I actually really love how the movie ended. I mean, my dad had a problem, but I kind of disagree with his opinion.
All right, let's see. All right, what time is it anyway? Holy crap. 20 minutes in, we're already finished this film. So I guess we can just put this on an intermission.
Or maybe not, but who knows?
So yeah, I guess that's about it.
So yeah, that's all the movies that we have seen so far, and we look forward to new films in the future.
So with that being said, thank you for joining us for this season of Movie Review 30. Here's to the next one. So with that being said,
this is Dean
and Brock McGinnis of Lightpost Films signing off, and have a good rest of your day. Take care, everyone.
Spider-Man does whatever a spider can.